What if everything appearing in your life already is your deepest inner assumption? Today we unlock the ancient Hebrew secret of effortless manifesting through pure being. Welcome everyone to the Secret of Oneness. I know that you all know me because we are one. For those of you who are still asleep, my name is Stephen. And tonight we're going to talk about manifesting as the I am. It's the inner assumption that creates reality. So let's first start off with a quote by Neville. So in the Power of Awareness, chapter 9, it says, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." If I could now single out the kind of mental food I want to express within my world and feast upon it, I would select it from the secret garden of my imagination and feed upon it. So this just reinforces the idea that the inner assumptions of the heart determines the being and what appears. Pure identity-based manifestation. So tonight we're going to get into understanding the being, the I am of who you are and how it manifests. But we're going to get into some Hebrew. Usually I do a lot of Greek, but tonight we're going to get into the Hebrew, and we're going to get into Proverbs 23:7. And that scripture is, "For as he thinks within himself, so he is. He says to you, eat and drink, but his heart is not with you." So we're not going to get into the second half of the verse because it's not really relevant per se, but I will explain it really quick. It says, "For as he thinks within himself, so he is." Okay? So what you are believing, thinking, assuming within yourself, within your soul, that's who you are. Okay? But this is saying he says to you, eat and drink, but his heart is not with you. So this is talking about that somebody is telling you, yeah, eat and drink all you want, enjoy yourself, but he really doesn't want you to be there eating and drinking his buffet and his wine. Okay? He's saying it, but he doesn't mean it. But here it's saying that as he thinks within himself, that's who he is. Okay? So let's get into, I took just a couple words out of this because it's very lengthy to explain the Hebrew because it's all different letters and things. So I took apart the word he thinks. And in Hebrew, it's the word Sha'ar, and it means Shin, Ayin, or rest. And the Shin means fire, transformation, divine energy. It represents the three pillars of the tree of life: the balance, the mercy, and the severity. Now in metaphysics, it's the consuming fire of change. That's very interesting. It's burning away the illusions to reveal true essence. The Ayin, A-Y-I-N, is the middle letter, and it means the eye, and it means vision. It's the insight. It represents perception and humility. It's seeing beyond the material. Now notice that's talking a lot about what we do when we want to manifest or have faith. We want to see beyond the material world. Metaphysically, it's the eye of the soul. The inner seeing imagination that creates reality, aligning with Neville's, that's seeing it from the end. Okay? Now the third letter here is the word Resh. And it means the head or the beginning. It means poverty or wealth duality. It represents reason and leadership. So in like a oneness teaching, which is what we teach here, it's the head of creation, the starting point of manifestation through focused thought. Okay. So what that says, that word as a whole, the word he thinks in Hebrew, the Sha'ar, it means it represents the inner fire of focused perception that directs reason and the starting point of creation. So metaphysically, it's the act of inward estimating or value a state, the creative assumption in imagination. So what you reckon or see as true in your inner vision becomes the seed or the head of your manifested reality. That's what that word means, that he thinks, when you break it down word, letter by letter, okay? Now, the next one here is, I'm going to talk about it in a little bit, but this is very interesting because this one is called in his heart. And in Hebrew, it's the word nefesh Nephesh. And it's the three letters Nun, Pe, and Shin. And we just talked about Shin, which is being the fire of transformation, but we're gonna explain it here again. So the first letter is Nun, which is the Hebrew, which means fish, faithfulness, emergence. It represents the soul's descent and ascent, humility and resurrection. So metaphysically, it's the faithfulness, persistence, and assumption, the fish swimming in the waters of consciousness. Now the word Pe, or I should say the letter Pe, in Hebrew means mouth, speech, or expression. It represents communication and creation through words, like divine fiat, okay? Metaphysically, it's the mouth of imagination. It means speaking and feeling the assumption into being, okay? The word Shin, again, is fire, transformation, divine energy, represents the three pillars of the tree of life, balance, mercy, and severity. It's the consuming fire of change, burning away the illusions to reveal true essence. So in his heart, it means it's the faithful soul that expresses itself through the creative word or feeling, ignited by divine fire or life force. In oneness terms, it's the animated, desiring aspect of consciousness, the personal I that feels and speaks assumptions into form. It is where imagination breathes life into states, making them real through persistent inner conviction. This is incredibly powerful. This is why I talk about when you read things in the Greek and the Hebrew and you break these things down, it takes on an entirely new form, a new detail. The description is just overwhelmingly powerful. So the last part here is the word he, or in the Hebrew word is he, and it's the word hu, H-U, but it has three letters to it, which is he, vav, and aleph. So the word he in Hebrew means the window or the breath. It's revelation. It represents divine grace and the feminine aspect of God. Metaphysically, it's the window to the infinite, the breath of life that reveals hidden truths. The second letter here is vav, which is Hebrew, which is the hook. It's connection, and it represents union between heaven and earth like a nail. In oneness teachings, it's the connector, linking the divine, which is the aleph, to manifestation, as in Neville's bridge of incidents. This is very interesting how these are connected. The word aleph in Hebrew is the ox or the strength. It's unity. It represents the primordial one, God as the silent source. Metaphysically, it's the I am, the unmanifest infinite from which all emerges, central to Neville's core teaching. So the hue in Revelation, it's that connects the infinite silent source to expression. So it's connecting God to the expression, the emphatic declaration of pure being. So metaphysically, it's the I am. It's the I am itself, the equation of identity. Whatever you assume and feel in your nefesh, that is who you are. The window opens, the connection is made, and the one aleph expresses as your reality. There is no separation. You are that which you inwardly reckon. So with all of that said, I really like to break this down even further into the whole as a picture. So let's look at it here. So these three words together in Proverbs 23:7, it forms a perfect metaphysical law, okay? The inner valuation, the assumption in the feeling, desiring of itself determines who you truly are and what manifests. As you inwardly reckon yourself to be, so you are, because the I am is all. So who you believe you are, who you assume that you are, who that you believe and know that you are to be is who you will express. It's what happens on the outside. It's the mirror principle. So let me give you a short summary of this regarding like the manifesting, the quantum, the hologram, the whole focus on the being, the identity, all that stuff, okay? Because this is very, very simple. Because a lot of people, they're trying to do techniques. They're trying to make their SP come home. They're trying to manifest that new job. They're doing scripting. They're doing affirmations. They're doing subconscious mind reprogramming. Now they're trying to get their nervous system fixed. All these crazy things, all these techniques, or they're visualizing, okay? All of that stuff is completely okay. But the thing is, it's who you are being. Who are you being when you're scripting that out? Are you writing down that I want this specific job with the knowing that you are the I am and this is your power to create this in your reality? Or are you writing down, I want this job and oh my God, I hope this works? Because it's who you are being. The technique doesn't matter. It's who you are being when you write the technique or you visualize or whatever you're doing, okay? So I have here that manifestation is not about doing techniques. It's about being the I am, which is your true identity as the infinite source of all things. So Proverbs 23:7 reveals this ancient law. What you inwardly reckon or assume in your nefesh, which is your animated consciousness or your self, that's your true self, becomes who you are and what manifests because the I am is all. So I want you to really get that because it has nothing to do with the technique per se. Because again, the techniques just point you back to who you are. When you're doing a technique, if you visualize yourself getting the keys to a new house, it's not the visualization that creates the manifestation or creates that reality or brings that reality to you or however you want to look at it. It's the acceptance of it being true while you're doing the imaginal act. So if you're visualizing yourself getting the keys to a new house, it's not the visualizing. It's the acceptance of what you're visualizing as true. It's whatever you believe to be true. So you can visualize somebody giving you keys to a house 1,000,000 times. But if you're doing it from, I hope this works, I hope it works because I want this house. What if it doesn't work? I'm going to keep visualizing until it becomes real or it feels real. That's all lack. You're starting in lack and you're trying to visualize something. You know, Neville before he said, don't think of it, think from it. So if you're visualizing from the perspective that I hope this works, or I'm going to visualize as if I'm on the patio or on the front porch, you got to visualize as if you are that person that owns that house. So in quantum terms, reality aligns with the holographic principle. So the universe is a hologram where every part contains the whole. So God is all. That means the house that you want to buy, the car that you want, the SP that you are in love with, the money that you want to have in your bank. You are the source of all of that. That's all God. God is the money. God is the house, okay? It's part of the hologram. The house is actually you. You are the money, okay? So the universe is a hologram where every part contains the whole. So you contain the money, you contain the house, but you are God as a whole. It's all one mind. That's the secret of oneness, is that you're all one, okay? Your consciousness is the observer. It collapses infinite potentials into form. So your consciousness collapses those infinite potentials, that mansion, that Corvette, that McLaren, that private jet, the vacation to Hawaii, the $50,000 in the bank account. Those are all potential. Maybe it's 60,000, maybe it's 100,000. Those are all potential. But your consciousness is what collapses it into form. The external, which is the visible world, it unfolds from the inner or the hidden wholeness within you. It's the mirror, how your inner assumptions project outward as experiences. Let me say that again. The universe is a hologram where every part contains the whole. Your consciousness, the observer, collapses infinite potentials into form. The external or the visible world unfolds. The visible world out there is unfolding right now from your inner mirror, how your inner assumptions project outward as experiences. So the poverty that you have in your bank account, if you only have $126 in your bank account, you are creating that potential. That was a potential that you've created into form. You're saying, I can't afford it. I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent. I only make so much money. Well, then that collapses into form. That external visible world, your bank account, is unfolding based on your inner wholeness, who you are on the inside. And it mirrors out those assumptions, and it's projected outwards as an experience. So you are literally experiencing yourself on the inside. So there's no separation. There is no, what do you call it, where you have cause and effect. There is no cause and effect. You are both. There is no separation. You are the hologram, decoder, and the encoded source. You're both. So let me give you an example. This is what a lot of people are doing. Okay, I have on a yellow shirt. Let's say that I went into the bathroom and I grabbed a blue shirt with me. And I went into the bathroom and I stood in front of the mirror. Now, this is what most people are doing. They take off the yellow shirt and they look in the mirror and they go, okay, he's still wearing the yellow shirt. Well, let me try to put on the blue shirt. Then they put on the blue shirt and they look in the mirror and he's still wearing a blue shirt. Or I'm sorry, he's still wearing a yellow shirt. And you're like, that's kind of weird. I've already taken off the yellow shirt and I put on the blue shirt. When is the mirror going to change? When is the external going to change? When is that going to change out there? Maybe I need to do it again. So they take off the blue shirt, put on the yellow shirt, look in the mirror, and they're still wearing the yellow shirt. Oh, well, it didn't work. Let me try it again. They take off the yellow shirt. They look in the mirror. They look down. They don't have a shirt on. They look in the mirror and they're still wearing the yellow shirt. And they're like, well, goodness, what is going on? See, that's what you're doing. This is what you do when you're trying to manifest something. You're basically choosing a technique and you're doing something. And then you're looking outside to the external world and going, is it working? Did it work? There is no cause and effect. You are the cause and the effect. You are the decoder and the encoded source. You're the source itself and you're the decoder at the same time. So let me explain it from the correct perspective. You're standing in front of the mirror. You have a yellow shirt on and you look in the mirror and you're like, yep, I have a yellow shirt on. That's true. So as you take the yellow shirt off and you're looking in the mirror, the yellow shirt is coming off the same time you're pulling it off. So then now you're standing there with no shirt on. Is it a surprise? Of course not, because it's a mirror. It's reflecting exactly what you're doing. That's cause as effect. Now you take the blue shirt and you're looking in the mirror and you're like, okay, I have the blue shirt in my hand. Okay, yeah. Okay, you put the blue shirt on and immediately you look in the mirror and you go, oh, the blue shirt's there. What a surprise. It's not a surprise. You'd be more surprised if you put a shirt on or took a shirt off and it didn't match in the mirror. So I don't understand. When you are manifesting, it's the same concept. Whatever you're doing on the inside is exactly what's happening on the outside. If you say, well, I only have $126 in my account. I need to manifest some money. Let me visualize me having a big bank account. Well, you're standing in front of the mirror and you're saying, I don't have any money. I'm broke. And that's what the mirror is going to reflect. And then you're saying, I'm going to visualize to make something happen. Well, that's like you standing in front of the mirror and saying, I'm wearing a yellow shirt and I'm going to put on a blue shirt. And then you look and see if the blue shirt's on. Of course it's not. You actually have to put it on. Do you understand? Cause is effect. So whatever you're doing on the inside, it's a mirror. Okay? So I want you to remember that. There is no separation. There's no separation between what you are doing, who you are being, whoever you are being. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Okay? Right now, in this very moment, whoever you decide and who you are being, if you're being the person in lack and you want money, then your being is what is going to be experienced. If you are sitting there and you have $126 in your bank account and you're like, I know that I'm wealthy, I have unlimited amount of money because the I am is wealthy. The I am is abundant. The I am is all things. So because I am is all things, I can just decide that I have $50,000 in my account. Okay, well, when you decide that there's $50,000 in your account and then you go looking for it, we're back to looking and doing techniques and looking for the result. If you say I have $50,000 in my bank account, then I do. I don't need proof. That's what the assumption is. An assumption is knowing something without proof. So I want you to understand that there's no separation. As you think and believe within yourself, what you are assuming is true is going to be reflected, is going to be your experience. So if you are wealthy, then that will be experienced. If you are in lack trying to be wealthy, you're going to see lack, okay? So remember, and let me add one more thing here at the end. You don't have to say, I am wealthy, I am rich, I am healthy, because you are already all things. So as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. But the I am is all things. So you can just decide, you know what? I am the I am, which implies that I have everything I need and all things are given. All things are taken care of. Everything is perfect. I'm complete. I'm whole. There's nothing missing. There's nothing broken. So if you just decide, you know what? I am the I am. That's it. I am. And I'm not going to move from that. I know that I'm God. I know that I'm source. I know that everything is within me and everything's working perfectly in my life. Then it shall be. Okay? So when you remember and abide as just the I am, assuming this fulfilled state, because when you say I am, that is a state of fulfillment in itself. It's implied that you have all things because you are all things. And so the hologram will reflect that effortlessly. Okay? So manifestation is identity. So be it, and it is.